Hello and welcome to your angel card reading. I'm Dr. Stephanie Stanfield, and today is a palindrome day. That means the numbers that are associated with today are the same going forward as going backward. This happens periodically, and I think it's a very special day. I waited to do my angel card reading until today. I loved that this card came up. The statement associated with this angel fairy card from Doreen Virtue's deck is, I easily hear and understand my inner voice of wisdom. I easily hear and understand my inner voice of wisdom. And as I look at this image of higher consciousness, I'm reminded that wisdom takes so many different forms and so many different shapes. I've been living this card since I actually drew it on Sunday, but I was waiting for Palindrome Day. And I looked at this image over and over saying, I easily hear and understand my inner source of wisdom. And so much has happened during that time to illustrate to me that this is actually true. This is really a true statement. When I get quiet and pause, just even for 10 seconds, the space maybe of a belly breath, breathing into the count of 4 and out to the count of 6. I can ask so many questions of my higher consciousness. It can be as mundane as, do I go to the hardware store first, or do I go to the kitchen store first? And I did get an answer. It said hardware store. And when I walked into the kitchen store later on, after going to the hardware store and following my guidance, I ran into a friend. And it was such a beautiful meeting. And it was the answer to a prayer for both of us. My prayer was, I easily hear and understand my source of inner wisdom. And that may not seem like a wise, ground moving, earth shaking activity, but it truly was. She was an answer to this prayer, and apparently I was an answer to her prayer. And it lined up because I got quiet, I asked, I heard, and I responded appropriately. I followed my guidance. It can be as small as hardware store or kitchen store first, or it can be so profound, such as, do I reach out to this person and see what your answer is? Do I forgive myself and others and listen for what the answer is? I was talking with another friend of mine just this morning, and she said, I have been pausing and asking myself, is this true for me? This can take us into a myriad of different answers, responses, understandings. But getting quiet, breathing in and breathing out, and just asking, is this true for me? Hearing the response or receiving the response, and then acting upon the response that you get. For instance, is this true for me? Might be, is today a palindrome day? In other parts of the world, no, that's not true for them. It's not. They're in different time zones, and some people have already passed through today, and they are already into living another date. It's not true for them, but that doesn't make it wrong. When you get aligned with your higher consciousness, the communication flows both ways, into you and out from you, and into you and out from you. And it can be a very present moment response, or it can come a little bit further down the line. I was actually in my car driving, reaching an intersection that says, do I turn right or stay straight? And I got, go right. Actually, the thought that passed through my mind, which my angels and I have a sense of humor, was you can never go wrong when you go right. So I turned right. They do have a great sense of humor. They do want you to enjoy your life. They do want you to consult with your higher consciousness as much as you feel drawn to do so. And it doesn't make you wrong if you don't, because you can never get it wrong, ever. You can only make a choice that you revisit and see if there's a better one for you right now. That's another good question for higher consciousness. I chose this. Is there a better choice right now? Do I have more information that I can make a different choice? Do I have a deeper understanding of myself and someone else? Those are all great questions. And you can get the answers if you just get quiet, ask, and receive. Then act if it's an action. That's all for today. Please remember to like this video, subscribe, and click the reminder bell to get reminders. Although there's not an angel specifically associated with this particular card, I kind of like my all-purpose fallback Archangel Michael, especially with his sense of humor. I'm almost sure it was him saying, "You never go wrong by going right." So I think that this is Archangel Michael, and you can check for Archangel Michael jewelry on my Etsy store if you want to be reminded throughout your day, and maybe even as you go to sleep at night, that you have access to higher consciousness. You have access to the answers that you need in this moment. And interestingly enough, what is a right answer in this moment may not be the best one or the optimal one in an hour. There may be so much that has changed in an hour of which you don't know that it will be another answer if you ask later. So there's also no harm in asking multiple times to see what kind of answers you get. Just remember, higher consciousness, optimal good for all. You go right, you can never go wrong. That's all. Thank you.